All right, continuing on like what I was saying, you know, if you're a brother that actually makes money through driving, then that's one thing. You know, it requires you to purchase a car, you know, whether it's Uber or Lyft, 2006, 2007, 2008, and you generate money through your car, and that's fine, you know. But for the most part, if you're a brother that's, you know, that's just living at the bar, don't go above your means, because that's generally what happens. You may have a job where you actually make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year, but you live above your means, and out of that $40,000, you're spending $30,000 to $35,000 a year, and you put yourself in a hole that you can't climb out of. And it all usually goes into mass consumerism. You know, you just purchase. You just go out all the time, and at the end of the day, you don't have nothing to show for it. And really, that, for the most part, that's on you. You're not thinking conservatively. You're not thinking about actually saving, because the better that you can save, the better the establishment of the body is. The better it'll be for if brothers fall on hard times, because that happens. That's bound to happen in the truth. Even in the book of Acts, the 6th chapter, you had the widows. Was a body of women that, you know, that if they lost husbands, whether it was you know, whether in a war or something like that, or they just lost them through natural causes, the government, the spiritual government of Yasha'Allah, Israel, would establish a welfare system to actually do good unto the women through financial means, to actually keep their established house afloat. Because back in the ancient world, of course, women, for the most part, they couldn't work these blue-collar jobs. They couldn't work jobs on the whole. They were mainly stay-at-home moms, so on and so forth. So I say all that just to say, you know, when you actually spending, you got to spend money with the purpose. If you're buying video games, these $50, $60 video games every week, that doesn't amount to nothing. You just you know, purchasing garbage. They're just purchasing garbage, and you're making these already established companies already richer. These multi-million, multi-billion-dollar industries, they're making more money just off of your foolishness. You actually following the spirit of the sheeple. Now, I'm not saying you can't play video games and things of that nature, but for the most part, like myself, I'm not a video game addict. You know, I don't really get down too heavily into that. You know, I mainly just focus on, you know, more productive things. You know, whether it's herbs. You know, of course, first and foremost, the spirit of things, and then, you know, categorically herbs and things of that nature, things that actually I can reap benefits of. And when you play video games, you really don't reap benefits. You don't reap skills off of beating 2K. You don't become a better physical basketball player. You're not actually getting physically trained. You're not building stamina. So at the end of the day, it's vanity. You know, when Solomon say vanity of vanity. So another thing too is markups. Avoid markups. What are markups? You brothers can look up the definition. It's when you actually go out to clubs and you go to these different bars, and they'll charge you $7, $8 for a beer. All right, when you could actually go to the convenience store, you can go to a store and you could purchase that same beer for $1 or $2. So you're actually paying you know, a large percentage markup. They marking the price up out of the actual value of it. So a lot of times people become extremely broke from just club addiction. You go into clubs, you go into strip clubs, you're throwing $300 in a strip club, $200 here. And the man of the Lord, he really ain't got business being in all these goddamn places all the time, man. You know, you really, you know, like the scripture says, you know, the lot of a bishop, you know, you really have to be, you got to have a level of gravity. You got to have a level of self-control. You know, your habits shouldn't be based on nigga shit, so to speak. Excuse my French, but that's just the reality of it. Now, of course, you're gonna go out with brothers and you may grab a drink. There's nothing wrong with that, grabbing a bite to eat. But if every time you get paid, you trying to let the bands fly in the club to show off for the big booty chicks, then you ain't using wisdom. You falling into the lot of what the scriptures speak about, rioting and reveling, which is the spirit of a Babylonian or ancient Greek or ancient Roman. So markups is another thing that you could do, that you can avoid, and you can actually save a lot. And when you actually save or see yourself saving, you know, preserve yourself. You know, don't just save and then, you know, you get $200, like I said, and you buy a pair of you know, MJs, you know, pair of mics. You know, just learn to save and learn to actually utilize your money towards things that actually are productive. Because still, the best thing, the main thing, like I said, is two things: that you could be a producer, which majority of these individuals, these Mark Zuckerbergs, these Steve Jobs, these entrepreneurs, majority of them, they produce a product and they push it out to the masses, and the masses purchase the product and they make a large amount of income from that, and they have multiple streams of income. Or you could be a consumer, which majority of us are consumers, and of course that falls under it falls on a byproduct of us falling in the system and being in captivity. So all you know is to purchase. You don't know how to create. You don't know how to actually in most cases, blacks and Latinos don't have a product that's being pushed out that they're making a large stream of income from. So the thing what you have to do is you have to reduce your consumerism. You know, you have to actually look at all the things that you actually purchase and learn how to cut back on the cost. In most cases, you're gonna have your main categories of purchase is gonna be entertainment, food, which food and water, of course, that falls on transportation and gas, so on and so forth. And if you actually control how much you actually spend on these things generally, then you actually save money. You know, you'll save a couple dollars. And of course, you know, if you save, you could possibly put your money towards certain things where, like I said, you could purchase things in bulk with brethren, and that'll actually help you all out, you brothers in the different regions, the different states. Because if you buy something for $5, $10, for instance, and say for instance you buy it in bulk, you might only spend $2.50. You know, you might, I'm just giving an example, or you know, whatever it is. That's just how it is when you buy things wholesale. If it's 20 brothers in the camp and it's something that all brothers may use, such as soap or shampoo, if you go to the store, you might spend $7, $8, but if you buy it in bulk, by a large quantity, it might be just $2. You're saving $5 here. And if you do that for months, that'll be, you know, in a year range, you may save you $100+. But like I said, it's just all about how much you brothers put your energy into it. This is just something that I just want to do, just to inspire brothers to be a little bit more conservative minded when you're dealing with finances, and when you spend and actually navigate your spending habits. Think of in the spirit of a manager. You know, don't think like a nigga, right? When you touch a couple dollars, your first instinct is to just spend impulsively. I need to buy this, I need to buy that, I need to buy that, I need to buy that. A lot of stuff you buy isn't things that you need, it's things that you just actually want because of things that have been constantly being advertised in your face. So you want to just get it because it's been pumped subconsciously in your mind that you want it, that you need it, when you really don't need it, you want it. So you always got to measure your needs from wants, stick to your needs. Your wants, put them in the back burner, put them in the back seat. Focus on the essential things that you actually need to purchase, and purchase things in bulk with brethren. And like I said, you know, as far as even your water and things of that nature, you know, you actually can actually find ways to save money. And if you actually save money on the right things, you could possibly save, you know, $6,000-$7,000 a year, cutting down on your different costs and things of that nature. You know, and with that money, you know, of course, you do whatever you do, whether it's, you know, of course, it'll help out the tithing with the apostles. It'll actually help you brothers in the different camps. Because if it's 7-8 brothers that's saving an extra $6,000-$7,000, that's $20,000-$25,000 you brothers could actually have to help yourselves out. And like I said, it all goes back to consumerism. You know, it's not trying to come up with a product and be a national mogul or a business tycoon. It's just cutting back from just spending like niggerishly, so to speak. You know, thinking more conservatively. And if you do these things, you know, you will actually see the abundance of your finances actually rising. And it's like I said, it can actually help you with things that you're actually going to need, because times actually fall hard on brethren. Also, health costs. You know, taking care of your body. If you actually take care of your body while you have the chance, you don't have to go to the hospitals. You don't have to do all these things, you know, to actually spend. And also, for the most part, being an Israelite, you should know how to save money anyway. You should know how money works, because we don't celebrate these holidays where majority of people celebrate these holidays and they spend a hell of money. Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, so on and so forth. We don't celebrate these things, so we don't spend money on presents. We don't spend money on all these different TVs that we have to give all these individuals and the family and things of that nature, because we don't celebrate it. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't have a woman, if you don't have kids, then you're saving money on the essentials of that. And if you're just working your job primarily and just handling the general focus of the ministry and the basic necessities, like Yahweh Shah spoke about, just food and raiment, be there with content, then you'll be straight. Now, if you, of course, you know, you might have to buy you a couple threads, but just buy you some threads, of course, to make it to the next day. You know, this truth isn't about just trying to be you know, Fabio, man. You know, everywhere you step out, you miss the showstopper. That's not the spirit that you should be trying to push. So, you know, this is just something I just wanted to, you know, just actually speak and put my 2 cents in. And it's mainly the consumerism aspect. If you cut back on your consumerism, and say, for instance, you can save you $2,000-3,000, you know, just from consumerism habits, then actually, you know, you helped yourself out, and the body actually increases just from redirecting your finances, from just putting all your money out to actually having better income. So I want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah by Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom Maki.